I keep looking at this main bore on this Bulldog block, and you know, it kind of looks kind of like it's egg shaped. Now I know I can't see it thou, but it's probably a glare on the bottom of the saddle there, but it just makes you wonder, well, what is it like in this measurement here? Now the front is out the most. It's 1.2 thou big on the front. So there we are, 1.2. But if you measure it this way, 2 or 3/10 big, isn't it? And then if I measure it this way, what is that, a couple tenths big? All right. So, yes, it is egg-shaped, and I don't know. I don't know why that is, and it's the hone's job to try to. This second one is not much different. It's number 2 is 8/10 too big in the vertical, and if you go up as close as you can to sideways, I'm trying to stay away from the parting line so we don't get an erroneous reading, but it's only 2/10 at the parting line. So I don't know what's really going on here. I believe that, you know, they make these, everything's got dissimilar metal caps on these aftermarket blocks. Here we've got a cast iron block and we've got a billet main cap. Everybody thinks, oh, this billet's strong, it'll do 5,000 horsepower. Well, I'm not trying to make 5,000 horsepower. I want the caps made the same material as the block, and that way, when you try to hone it, you're not trying to hone dissimilar metals. I guess I got to tell the hone to not take much here, because this is butter and not. It's not easy. I've gone through a box of cheap cigars trying to figure this thing out, but it's the hone's job to straighten it up. I just hope I can, you know. At the beginning of the last video, you heard me complaining about when a block comes in here, an aftermarket block, how seems like nothing's ever right and you have to check everything. And I told you that if Mom Mopar machined it, then I felt good about it because she knows how to do it. Well, I was staring at that Bulldog block last night, dreading having to line hone it, and I saw this 400 block sitting here. And I just got it in, I've been in the process of checking it out, and the cylinders look good, and there was a little rust in one, but I'm getting that out. And I wanted to check the main bores anyway. So I went ahead and prepped this thing to check the main bores. And we're going to see if Mom Mopar, with her old equipment, can do better than these fancy CNC people that can't ever seem to get a block right. Okay, it should be between, the spec on this is 2.818 on the high side, 17.5 on the low side. I've set the gauge up to 2.818 for the high side. So let's check it and see what we got. Wow, I don't think I've ever had one under. So what is that, about a little over, and I'm set up on the high side, so that's a little over 1/2 thou under. Wow, I don't think I've ever had one under. Okay. Let's go to the next one. It's a 1/2 thou under the low limit. A little over 1/2 thou under the low limit. A little over half a thou under the low limit. Okay, they're all a little over half a thou under the low limit, which is never that way when I check a Mopar block. But that's great. So now you put it in the line hone, you give it a few strokes, and everything is going to land between 17 and a half and 18. Everything's going to be perfect. This is exactly how you want one. You want it a hair under. You can run the hone through it a few passes, and then you got that pretty honed finish. It's kind of smooth. This is a little bit on the record player side, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful and exactly in spec. And then the world's going to be a better place to live. Wow, that's perfect. This is exactly how you want it. Thank you, Mom Mopar. Okay, I've got the main caps cut and everything worked out good there. Now I'll set up this mandrel to center it in the main bores, and then we'll get this thing honed. I don't think that the main bore was the problem here. Yes, it was a thou big, but I think the main bearings didn't like that block. I've had main bearings that you put them in there and the crank won't turn. It just, you know, they're binding up, they don't fit right, whatever. You have to let the block pick the main bearings, and when it's happy with them, then you got good main bearings. You can't take your favorite and say, by God, I'm going to use them no matter what. It just doesn't work that way. But Joe fixed the main problem on the oil pressure. We're happy with that. We'll get this line bore pretty, and I think it's all going to go together good. I think it's all going to work. By the way, Joe, I ruined your cam bearings here because, you know, we have to pull it down by the cam bearings, so it's going to cost you a set of cam bearings there. Okay, I'll center this mandrel up in the bore, and then so when this mandrel, you want it centered in the bore, this wheel raises the stones, and this wheel on the end raises the shoes. So I'm a little off here. 0 is right here. By the way, I turned off those lights, but you still got glare on here, but it's right there. So I think I'm supposed to take half of this out, and then you go back and forth until you get it down to where you want it, and then life will be good. It just takes a while to get it. Let's see, we were 15 out, so if we go about there, maybe that'll work. Well, I should have put it back on 0, shouldn't I? Okay, so now we got the stone straight up, and we're still 5 this way. So is that better? Okay, 0 with it on the stone, so this ought to be near 0 when we put it on the shoes. Thou and a half, okay? Now I think we're being a little nitpicking on this. I don't think it has to be dead on, but that's way under a thou, so let's try this. And that's way under a thou. So we're perfect. Now I go to work. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm proud of it. I'm not gonna tell you that, whatever. I hope you can get this in here. What we're looking for, the 0 is the high spec, and this is the low spec right there. We get a half a thou right to work for that 0, 5 ticks. These are tenths. So this is what we got. This is set at the high spec, which is 2.943. Oh. Okay. That's about 4/10 under, which is 1 spec over the 1/10 over the low spec. So it's in perfect range. That one's in the middle of the range. We only get a half a thou to work with. It's not like a Chevy where they give you a half an inch. What's that one? 4? Right in the middle of the range. 4/10 from high and 1/10 from low. Is that 3? 3/10 in the middle of the range. Middle of the range, 2/10 from high, 3/10 from low. So, Mike, I gave you my best is all I can tell you. Joe, this thing better run good because it's not my fault. I want to see us break the dyno down there. All right, now I'm going to take it out of here and put it in the cylinder hone and we'll see what's going on there. Joe, you better not scratch up these pretty main bores I'm giving you. You know what I mean? That would make me be distressed.